Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Monday night's Car Stereo Talk Live. As you can see, tonight we have a special guest, John Catalano, who has not been on here in a while. He's here today to talk about what I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But with that being said, welcome to the show, guys. Welcome, John.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Fernando, say hi.
Hi.
There you go. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday. I mean, how could you go wrong? It's Monday. So, welcome. Before we get started into interviewing this guy right here and finding out why he's sitting here, what he does, and who he is, as usual, we do this little thing called the 12-Volt Clean Wire Club over there on Facebook. Some of you guys have seen it before. And every week, Fernando scours the page for what he thinks is the prettiest install. I'm glad he picked this one because I actually saw this one, which is weird because I never go and look at this stuff. But here we go. Who's this, Fernando?
That's Isai.
Is that Isai?
Uh-huh.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah.
He did a great job. Yeah.
A lot of wires.
A lot of wires. And this is made possible by the fine folks at D&F Tool Drawer. That's right. If you would like to see some of the tools that we use, you can head over to dnftooldrower.com, as well as if you're looking for the ultimate 2-channel RTA, electrical that is, so that you can figure out what your sound is doing and see it, feel it, touch it. You want to pick yourself up an IRTA2, as well as we have keychains, and each IRTA2 does come with a keychain. Just the value alone, it's $10, bonus material. So definitely head over and check it out. And yeah, so made our way
keys
through
for a
it.
keychain?
No. It's actually
Do
really
people
cool.
have keys anymore?
Yeah. No.
Did I give you one of these? Did you make it to? Were you at Knowledge Fest?
I was at Knowledge Fest.
Did I give you one of those?
No.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't.
That's awesome.
I mean, so we saw each other at Knowledge Fest for like 10 or 15 minutes.
Mhm.
Because you were, and I didn't even, because you just gotten those.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the heck is this guy walking up to me, man?
I literally threw a shoulder into Ken Wiseman.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the show, he's like, man, where are you the whole show? I'm like, the first day before the show even started, I threw my shoulder into you and you looked at me like, who's this jerk that just ran into me?
Sir, excuse me.
Yeah, sorry. My bad.
It was funny.
Yeah. Which you would think Ken, of all people, would know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just threw him off.
So trust me, it threw me off too because I was like, hola, what is happening? Welcome. Hi. So you were on the show probably 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And at that time you were working for one company and we did an RCA show. We talked about all kinds of fun and excitement with RCAs. It was a great show. It was a great show. It was one of the best shows. We learned so much from the show. The show was amazing. We learned all about stuff that the show was pertaining to, and the RCAs were awesome. You made a fine product. Yeah, I'm good at that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I say
surprisingly good.
I'd say he's a fisherman because he likes to do this. You catch little fish. I catch big fish. Big fish, little fish. You're the little fish. I'm the big fish guy. You guys don't know how to fish. I know how to fish.
You're fired.
Yes, you're fired. You're fired. Anyways, much better. Anyways, so you're with a new company.
Yes.
You've been there for about a year and a half.
Yeah. No, 2 years.
Is it 2 years? Yeah.
January is 2 years.
Is it? Will be? Wow. Okay, 2 years.
January.
So quick, huh?
And where are you? Where you hanging your hat?
Well, I hang my hat at home.
Yeah, I know, but you're never there. So
I'm the director of product development for Sherwin Vega and Diamond Audio.
Director of Product Development. That sounds like a really big title.
It's a cool title, yeah.
It is a cool
It
title.
was nice.
Yeah,
a check. Nice paycheck too.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. I mean, that's always nice.
I hope so.
Good evening, Brad. How are you doing? Hola. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is going to be a Q&A show. We are going to talk to John. He just so happened we did some work today for a friend of his, and we put some Sherwin Vega stuff and some prototype Sherwin Vega stuff in it. He's like, hey, man, why don't you stay, and we'll bring you on the show. We'll talk about stuff. So if you do have questions, please feel free to get your questions in. We will bang through some questions. It's going to be more or less a normal show, but we're going to prelude that with John talking about some cool stuff. Hola, John. Who is John? I just told you who John was. So, used to work at Stinger, and now he's at Vega Diamond.
Yeah.
He's a big deal there. It's a big deal. You're a big deal, John.
Yeah. I was at the old place for almost 25 years. So.
I know. That's
Long
it's
time.
hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
Jeez, oh man. But before we get into the Q&A and all the other fun stuff, what's up, Bobby? This first segment of the show is brought to you by, oddly enough, the fine folks at Audio Control. If you're looking to build a system for your car and you want an amplifier to do it, head over to audiocontrol.com. We have 2 new lines, along with the classic lines that have been available for a while, the LX and the D. We now have the Altitude and the Epic. And if you didn't catch last week's show where we had Gary Bell on talking about all the fun and excitement, that new subwoofer, maybe make sure to check that out. And of course, head over to audiocontrol.com, check out that line of Altitude amplifiers. We also just did an unboxing review and dyno of the A800.1. So that was a lot of fun, puts out a lot of power. Check it out. Okay, John.
I'm going to give some props. They did really good industrial design on that amp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about industrial design for a section, because I didn't quite understand what industrial design was until I was around enough of you goofballs that always say industrial design or you hired an industrial designer. And I go, oh. Yeah. So why don't we explain to the group as it is, what does it mean to be an industrial designer pertaining to 12 volt for sure? But
well, basically, like when we reference it, we usually just say ID. Like,
okay.
So that's the ID.
Okay.
It's everything that's tangible. Like, so like the iPhone, it has a very specific industrial design. Like,
right.
And they have, they're going to preset some parameters that they have to work within.
Right.
And then the designer is given the task to make that piece fit those design aspects and have the feature sets that they want. So, it's a cool meld of things because it has to be functional and aesthetically pleasing. Like, right. You got to dance with those two things. It can't look really cool and not work.
Yeah, well, for sure. But you hear the industrial part of it. I think was always throwing me off because I'm like, there's nothing industrial. Because I think industrial backhoes, diggers, boom, metal spikes, stuff like that. It's not. It's just a term meaning industry.
Yeah. In the industry's design. Yeah, I didn't coin the phrase, but yeah.
That's I know it's not your fault. Yeah. It's not your fault. I just So industrial design is basically everything that goes into the design of the product. Now, what have you worked on in the current lineup?
For
either company.
Oh well, I mean everything. Stinger was mine prior to me leaving.
Well, yeah. Yeah, you left, so now you're working at these guys.
We're redoing everything.
Okay.
The lines were several years old. They're a little long in the tooth. Very good product, but it was time for a change.
Refresh.
Yeah.
So, like the thing we put in today.
Yeah.
That was a prototype.
That's prototype.
Nobody knows about that yet.
It's in the price list.
Okay.
It's just with the tariffs and everything's kind of gotten delayed.
Okay.
But those are already done. They're just sitting, waiting to be shipped.
Oh, so like all the things we talked about that's changing on it's already changed.
Yeah, they're already.
Oh, okay. Done. So a bigger plug and all that.
Yeah.
Oh.
The lights, the chassis is a little bit bigger, so we get more heat dissipation. Like all those things were vetted out when we did the prototype.
Okay.
The prototype works fine.
Right.
It was just there's always room for improvement.
Right.
So that's why we do those.
Now he probably doesn't even realize he has a 1 of 1.
Yeah, he's got a 1 off with my name on it.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't that be weird? Like you just got an install done and you had a prototype. I mean, I know some of you guys out there be like, "Wait, what? That would be so cool."
There's a few of those. Like I have the 1.
Yeah.
I have Zen 9.
Yeah.
Signed.
Yeah. I sold mine finally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I yes, I was so happy to get rid of that.
There. Who did I give it to? I think I may have given it to Derek Wilson. He's got my one and only S2000.
I sold him my Zen 9.
Oh, that's who you gave it?
Yeah, that's who bought it. Yeah, and then I bought a 1DX.
But I think I sent him it was a Phoenix Gold S series.
Right.
But I only made one.
Right.
2,000 watt.
Yeah.
One. And when my S2000 got smashed, the amp survived, so I sent it to Derek.
Oh, that was nice of you.
So he's got the only one S2000.
Oh, I'm sure he's so cheesed up about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Lord knows Derek loves that stuff. I mean, we all do. Let's be honest. I'm a big nerd of one-off type stuff. I mean, like this is a one-off, and you know, you brought me this. Remember this?
Yeah.
Because you guys broke it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our amp demo to kind of talk about the parts of an amplifier, and he dropped it off because he's like, "Hey man, you were talking about this the other night, and so we broke this one today. So here."
I have this.
I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Yeah.
Well, that was one of the amps that I used to hook up to the RCA and swing it around my head because I had the locking ends to show.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. The current 4000s, you don't want to do that.
No.
No, God, no. You don't even want to. No. Woohoo! Die!
Don't breathe on it.
No, for sure. All right, throw us up a question, Fernando. Let's bang through a couple of these to make people, enjoy it. I have a 2016 Nissan Frontier SV. It has a factory stereo, but it doesn't have CarPlay. Is there a way to add CarPlay without removing the factory stereo?
We were just talking about this.
We were just talking about this today. So there's a company that we use for parts like this. I don't know if they make anything for your particular vehicle. It's called rvdfl.com. And they make modules that interface with the car, usually through some ports.
It has a USB usually.
Yeah, well, there has to be a touchscreen, separate touchscreen. There has to be some form of a cable between the two. But that's really the only thing that would be available if it doesn't have CarPlay, shy of putting in a new radio. So it's 2016.
Some sort of video in. So
yeah,
RCA jack, HDMI, and then USB.
Yeah, honestly, in a 2016, I'm thinking you're going to end up replacing your radio. I know you don't want to, but that's probably the better move. In the long run, probably cheaper. So,
and a much better experience.
A much better experience. Oh God, yes, yeah. Because when things weren't meant to have something, you give it to them. It's just not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. Fernando. Yeah. I don't know what we're talking about.
No.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Next question.
Right there.
Oh, sorry.
Hey.
What's up, Fang? Fang is the keeper of time.
Okay.
A local music store carries a lot of Stern Vega and Diamond Audio car products. He's in Tennessee. I
awesome.
believe. Yeah. So, yeah, it makes his job easier.
Yes.
It helps pay his paycheck.
That is definitely true.
Can I use a 5-channel 1,000-watt amp on a stock Honda Fit with a 90-amp alternator? The reality is yes. Okay. So this is one of those questions where it's like 1,000-watt 5-channel amplifier, like the amplifier that we had today. It's just a lot of power. And the amplifiers don't draw current like that all the time.
Correct.
And a lot of this has to do, like, it's a 5-channel. So we know, like, when the bass is hitting, that's going to be when you're drawing the most amount of power. But smaller speakers don't draw as much. Now, don't draw as much current. So,
well, no, they don't. They don't require.
They don't. Yeah. Yes. So when you're doing a fuse rating on an amplifier, and you're doing total wattage, right?
Yes.
You know that the amplifier is not going to be drawing that total wattage at all times.
It's a safety feature. It's not really a designation of how much current the amplifier is drawing at all times.
Right.
That is the maximum current that amp could draw. Like for some reason you had a way to throw
you played
a
1,000 and a 40 hertz test load at the exact same time
to get it to draw maximum current, and then or a fault in the amplifier.
Right.
So you want that fuse to be able to blow to keep something from going terribly wrong, but at the same time not just blow because they're playing music, right? So that's why it's a rule of thumb. It's not a perfect science, but rule of thumb is 10 amps per 100 watts.
So basically what we're saying is that the amplifier, even though it's a 1,000-watt amplifier, it's a 5-channel, it's not going to be drawing 1,000 watts of power at a constant. Yeah. So the 90-amp alternator, as long as you're like, we put amplifiers in Hondas every day, or not every day, almost a lot. So you'll be fine.
Yeah,
you'll be fine.
I have a little something on that.
No, go. That's why you're here.
So the
Honda boy.
Honda guy and battery guy.
Yeah.
So, my rule, what I would suggest is if you have a voltmeter or one of these little digital voltmeters, like we used to sell, one, plug it in, and you just look at your battery voltage. Like after you have your system installed, look at what your battery voltage is doing over the course of like a week.
Yeah.
Like, so every morning before you start the car, you turn the car on, but don't start it.
Yes, you get one of those ones for the cigarette lighter.
Yeah, and just see if the voltage is going down. If the voltage is going down over that week or two that you're testing it,
right,
that means you're drawing more current than you're able to put back. You're not driving far enough, whatever the case may be. Then you got to start looking at other things.
Right.
You're
not driving far enough, especially in a Honda, because the Honda's alternator only kicks on when you're actually moving.
Yeah. At idle, it's like 30 amps, barely anything.
So make sure you drive.
Yeah. But that's the easy way to figure it out.
There you go. That's why he's here. All right, give us the next one. Good evening. For an unseasonably hot Twin Cities, 91, windy, and the humidity is 10%. Dew point is around 23.
That's
Red flag
relevant.
warnings for potential devastating fires. Damn, Ken! Okay, as you know, watching the show before, the weather is a big topic for us.
The weather, is the compressor on?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Brad. How you doing, buddy? Hello, guys. I have Kenwood 6903Cs in my Ram 1500. Wondering if you run them at 80 watts, 80 or 100 hertz, 24 dB slope, and how can I get the bright sound of the 3.5s down a little? It sounds to me like you need some form of equalization for sure. All right. So typically when we're doing these, we're amplifying them. And if we're not having a DSP, that's going to be difficult because you need some form of equalization or an amplifier with some form of equalization. Obviously, there's treble on the radio. Now, with that being said, we would cross them over at 80 hertz on the 6x9. I would go 80 because I want to get some mid-bass out of it. But there was a trick from back in the day when we want to dampen down that tweeter.
That's right.
Piece of carpet. Cut out a piece of felt, put it over the top. That will dampen down the tweeter.
You're talking like...
I'm talking old school, bro.
That's more than old school. That's like down and dirty.
So what were you thinking?
You could put a resistor in line. You can put a bass blocker, a cap on it. But the other way, a coil.
Mm-hmm.
I said a cap, but I meant a coil.
Yeah.
So you could like cut the top end off.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be terrible though.
Yeah. Well, it's because he's got it the 3.5's bouncing off the dash.
Oh, for sure.
It's just a giant tweeter.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you could always just turn the treble down on the radio, but
then everything else sounds like this.
So that's why we'd put a piece of carpet over it, because that would just
attenuate
and you wouldn't have to. It was like the easiest thing you could do to make. And if it wasn't enough, you put another one on top.
Fuck you too. Knock it down.
I'm old, remember?
I'm gonna start telling guys that when they're doing the motorcycles and the horn's too bright, we're just gonna throw some carpet on it.
Hell yeah, bro! No, what you do?
I mean, you don't need a DSP. Really.
Well, totally. But you know how you make the little covers with the frog skin? Frog skin. Make a little cover with frog skin on top and a little piece of felt on the bottom.
This much felt on.
Yeah. But anyways, there's a couple options for you. Fantastic. Are passive networks a lost art? Yes, you nerd. Of course you know they are, Brad. Come on. You guys like barely make crossovers now. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's funny. We just had this discussion because I'm working on all the newer high-end diamond stuff.
Ooh.
So the new DES and Hex.
And Hex.
And we were like, should we really make a crossover for it? I mean, because it's...
Yeah. Why?
It's a science and an art at the same time.
And it's almost pointless.
And you got to listen. I mean, you got to play with these values. Like you can lay it out on paper and you have to listen to it. It doesn't, it's not a perfect thing. You have to play with it. And it's like, do we spend weeks and weeks and weeks evaluating and making samples when everybody's just going to use a DSP?
I mean, I'm DSP.
Yeah.
If speaker that expensive, if you're not using a DSP, why even bother?
Right.
So let's talk about the Hex for a minute, because the Hex was one of my favorite things back in the day, back when first go around with Diamond.
Yeah.
Are you still using the Hexatech, the cone?
The cone,
material? Still the same thing. Yeah. Wow, really?
Yeah.
Do you guys still make the big subwoofer?
Yes.
the big one with the neomagnet that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. And what's funny is the factory where we make that, where that was engineered originally.
Yeah.
It was Aura was the first one to have it.
Yeah.
And they have the 21-inch Aura on a display in our sound room.
Really?
Yeah. It's in this like big monstrosity of this, and it's like the woofers in like, it's like a, how to describe it? It's like if you took this mat and you stood it up, and then they just cut out a thing for the woofer to sit in, and it talks all about it.
Yeah,
but that's the basis for the Hex driver.
Yeah, that thing was always cool.
Yeah,
I might have to ask.
We're gonna redo those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm just gonna modernize it.
Yeah, I mean, is it the same design from the last 20 years?
Yeah, it hasn't changed.
Really?
Yeah, it's a badass woofer.
Oh, for sure.
The only thing, I mean, in my opinion, the only thing it lacks is power handling now. Compared to what is available today. So literally I wouldn't want to change the sound at all. I would just update the materials to bring it more modern. Like, so, higher temperature voice coils, hex winding, all the formers, different spiders, but I want it to have the same sound. I think the sound is excellent.
Yeah, it was a cool drive.
Now everybody's got 5,000 watt amp or whatever they want to put on everything. So we used to do it with 40 watts. Now you got to have 5,000.
Yeah, you got to have 5,000. It's crazy. All right, hold on. Let me do this real quick before you pull up the next one. Let's see it.
Again,
that's that one.
An example of industrial design. Like, you don't need to change it. Like, the woofer is beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's perfect.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
But we could change some things, but I wouldn't want to play with it too much. I want to put a little bit of my signature to it, but I'm not going to change it too much because it's not broken.
Don't fix it. Yeah. Hey, guys, this next segment is brought to you by the fine folks at Moscone-America.com. America. If you're looking for small, tiny DSP amplifiers, put in your Dodge Ram. Head over to Moscone-America.com and check out the new Pico line of amplifiers. That's right. They've been making them for a while, but they're black, they're back, and they have all kinds of cool features to integrate into your factory stereo along with the DSP. They make them in several different sizes, of 4 to 8, a 6 to 8, an 8 to 10, and a mono block, all the same size, so they look convenient. And the top panel is flippable, so that you can make them all go the right directions. Head over to Moscone-America.com for more information. All right, throw up another one, Fernando.
You had a softball of a joke in that pitch.
I left it out,
and I
left
bit
it
my
out.
tongue.
I know, but the joy is to let you think these things, and then I don't have to. Because Dean, did you?
He was like,
yeah.
Yep. Nope. Yeah. Dean, did you try it? Actually, the diamond subwoofer is still in her car. We have not removed it because
she loves that.
I got to be honest, I really love that sub.
Yeah.
She loves it because she has her whole trunk space and it just freaking hammers. The only thing that we never did is we have the deep one, and I would have we built a 2x4 frame because we had to lift it up. I never got the shallow one. So
I might have a shallow one at the house where you swap it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So
is the powered one or the non-powered one?
Non-powered. Yeah, because the non-powered sounds so much better.
Well, because you can put more power to it.
We did.
Yeah.
It's got
300 watts on that thing.
We got a 500 watt. Yep. Hi, Dean. Fernando. I'm wanting to replace my factory Bose speakers in a 2018 Silverado. Would like to put Milli Pro 3-way components in. Any suggestions on how to mount the 3.5 mid and tweeter? So in the dash is a 2.5. You can wallow out the hole, which we just did and is in our Instagram feed this week. So today's video that went up does have a newer Chevy dash that we put the Kenwood C3s in, and you can kind of see how that would go. So it's doable for sure. And then the tweeter could go up on the A-pillar. Would be you'd have to figure out a way to get it up there. But that would probably be how that solution would be. Now, as far as that, it's a 2018 Silverado. So as far as integration goes, make sure you look at the appropriate integration piece for that. Don't just think you're going to pull out your Bose and put new speakers in. It's going to sound good. That's not going to work. PAC just came out with the GM71, I believe is what it is, which is theirs, as well as Nav TV, I think, updated their version of this. So it finally works now. But PAC piece is what we've been doing lately. And then if you want something with a DSP in it, because you're like, I just want it simple, then you can check out Metra's Access line. But any one of those would be ideal to integrate into that. But like I said, as far as you can wallow out the hole to get the 300 on the 8-pillar. Yay. What is John's favorite standalone DSP?
Man, put me on the spot.
I mean, there again, you don't have to answer that if you don't want to. I mean, we all know it's Diamond. We were actually talking about this earlier today because the amplifier that we were installing, the sub amp. Can we say what we were going to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the sub amp is going to have one of the things that I think is like as soon as Audison came out with it, I was like, why does everybody do this? Put a DSP in the sub amp.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that makes a lot of sense because like you have the Cern Vega sound restoration piece, whatever that thing's called, that I had you bring up because the bass enhancement because we weren't able to do an Amp Pro because it was a 2025 RAM and it doesn't exist yet. So I was like, we're going to need something. Mm-hmm. So you brought us one of those to put in. But if that was already some form of a parametric EQ or something like that was built into the
so the amps, so like in the Vega series, the two lines of those, there'll be a DSP version.
Right.
And then the non-DSP version has the bass enhancement in it.
Right.
Nice.
So it's all in it.
Right.
In the chassis. So,
already.
So you don't
have to get an external.
So like we have all the new stuffs like that. So like we have an under seat there's an 8-inch and a 10-inch and a 12-inch under seat enclosure.
Yeah. We're talking downfire and real box?
No, it's the
little
all-in-one.
Yeah. Okay.
If you mount them solid, they actually sound good.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Shoo.
Trust me, I get it.
Yeah,
I've been schooled on this by some of the best of them, and I totally understand that market.
But it's it has the bass restoration built in, and it's got 20-volt inputs and all that good stuff because we're trying to not have to have 30 different boxes.
Yeah. I hate it.
So 20-volt in, it's got the load resistors built in.
Oh yeah, because that was yes, I saw that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, load resistors built right in the amplifier. It was really cool. And you do 10, 20...
20-volt in.
No, the load resistors that were in it was a 10 ohm.
10, 20, 60, and 20K.
Yeah, so all four. 20K is the bypass, basically.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite DSP? I mean...
There's aspects of a lot of really good DSPs out there that I like, but not one that like that's the one I'd have to have. Like, yeah.
You could just say the Phoenix Gold one.
No. Actually, the Phoenix Gold one was
pretty badass for its time.
It was ahead of its time.
Oh, so ahead of its time.
But it was too complicated for everybody.
Yeah. Well, everything was right click.
It was 10 menus deep.
Yes.
It was the first one with high res audio.
Yeah.
So it was cool, and it had the best T-shirt ever.
Which was
we had the Run DSP.
Oh yeah, I still have that.
Yeah. Right there, look at that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we all stole the idea, okay? We all stole.
I stole it too from.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
It was a good play.
It was a good play. It was a good play.
We still have the first one, no?
Yeah, we still have one up there.
Yeah,
I got one.
Yeah. All right, next question.
All right, so just.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah, that's a good one. My biggest point of view today is them installers who think fast and out is quality work for your customers.
That's
I get what you're saying. I mean, and there again, yes, as John, like we spent pretty much most of today putting in one amplifier and restoration, but there was a T harness that had to be made. There was we made custom speaker plug for the back of the box. We
got cool pictures.
Amp racks. Well, they know. They've seen it. So, I mean, there again, we add value into the installation as opposed to just... So, like, JJ, remember JJ?
Yeah.
His was just... The installers were there for him to sell product.
Mm-hmm.
And the installers didn't matter. It was just put it in, get out there.
Well, it was the deck and forward mentality.
Yeah, it was just get it out the door, get it out the door, get it out the door. Or the direction I've tried to take Paul is that it's quality, not quantity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily. I'm getting old. I don't necessarily want to do 50 cars.
Well, it's also they have to be taught like you can do the quality work. And if everybody knows that it's quality, they'll pay for the quality. So you don't have to do 50 as fast as you can to make the place profitable.
Right.
Like, yes, you charge a little bit more, but then it doesn't come back.
Right.
Because it's done right the first time.
Right.
When you're slamming them out, you're going to make mistakes.
Yes.
The customer's happy for it because it sounds better. It lasts longer. They're not aggravated because they got to come back.
Clean car goes, gets 10 more horsepower.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Racing stripe and clean.
Yeah. So a clean install gives you, a couple more dBs.
Yeah, for sure.
So DNF, I just bought a new 10-inch Kenwood direct replacement. Oh, I got it last week. My son said the dash kit hasn't been released yet.
The shop said.
The shop.
Yes, the shop. Sorry, son shop. Same thing. You're not wrong. So I don't know why this is because we know the kits are available. We've seen them. We've been to the warehouse. Yeah. Some of the kits are not shipping yet. I don't know why that is because they were all supposed to be released at the same time. Yeah. It's very odd. Direct replacement. Yeah. Moving on. So,
so 17. Does that take? Is that a?
That's a float.
Is it a floater?
I think it's a float.
Screen, yeah.
Unless he said 8-inch. Did you say 8-inch?
No, he said 10-inch.
Okay, so it's a float. That's the float. Yeah. So that's the cool.
But is the factory deck doubled in? I can't remember that year.
Is it 8-inch? What was it?
2017.
What brand?
Ram.
That's an 8.5 inch.
8.5.
So that's the like 4x3.
But there's a normal dash kit for that.
Yeah, but nobody wants it. They want the 10-inch float.
No, I know, but the whole idea with that is it takes a normal dash kit.
Yes, but there's no room behind it, and this is a bigger screen.
No,
I know.
No, it's supposed to go to the brackets, and then.
Yes, it has a big piece of metal.
You use a normal dash kit, and then it attaches.
Yes, so with that kit, you get a piece of metal that attaches to the back, and then you get the arms that attach. Then you set the screen on it, and they go in from the side. So that's
with these ones, you actually have the ability to use all the factory controls.
Yeah, he knows. I mean, they do.
Yeah,
because you guys build the Harley radio under the Sherwin Vega line.
In Diamond.
Diamond.
We have it in both.
Yeah. You have it in both?
Yeah.
Oh, both now? Okay. So didn't know that. I'm not a Harley guy. And you guys have the
Sherwin Vega one we only sell in Canada.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. And that has RR built into it.
We were the first radio of any radio to have RR built in.
Yeah. So that's cool.
It's super cool.
Yeah. So, So you guys work with RR, huh?
You
work with iData? It's
so
strange.
It's weird.
I mean, odd, right?
But we have and then we have several patents on the Harley radio, so
there's
sense.
Okay, so
maybe we might make something else.
Anyways, all right, let's take 2 seconds here. Go ahead and pull that. Is this the next question? Let's ask this, and I want to ask you something about Harley radios. Right. Question: when using a kicker key 200.4, do you remove the cap
base blocker
from the 3.5 inch coaxial, or just leave them in? We take them out. So one of the cool things about channel, and it's very specific on the channels. Channels 1 and 2, if you're going to put a tweeter or a 3.5 on, when the microphone turns on and it does its first tick, 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 what it's doing is it's...
Oh, apparently this guy doesn't know that we do
It's auto setting up the crossover for channels 1 and 2 if you select the things on the side properly, meaning not front and rear. It'll set you up a high pass for those channels. So no, we do not run any caps or nothing on channels 1 and 2. Now, 3 and 4 will give you the top. Well, there again, we'll just say this: it takes care of all the crossover points, so you're good to go. So it'll mirror that so whatever this is low 1 and 2 are going to play. 3 and 4 are going to add a band pass to that, and you're going to dial in the bottom of channel 3 and 4. That makes sense. Hope it makes sense.
All right.
But yeah, switch it.
The answer is take the cap off.
Okay, fine. Take the cap off. All right, I'm going to ask this question before I get. I'm just going to let that sit there for a minute. Let that simmer. Okay, so let's talk about the Harley radio for a minute because you did something different with the Harley radio that I want to kind of talk about and let them understand. So it has how many RC outputs?
You can do 10.
Okay, so physical RCAs are...
So it has, in its stock form.
Yeah, it's stock form.
It comes with 6 RCAs.
6, not front, rear, and sub, just six RCAs.
Yes.
Okay, that are assignable?
Yes.
Okay. All right, keep going.
It's got a full 10-channel independent DSP. Every channel has its own DSP channel.
So when you say 10 channels, the white, gray, green, purple.
So so in the out of the factory harness, because it's a plug and play for the Harley.
Okay.
You got 4 speaker channels.
Okay.
Those are at 2 ohms, 50 watts RMS, 25 watts at 4 ohms.
Okay.
Right. Those are all independent of each other. So the channels are all separate. So because we have biampable speakers,
right,
25 watts, if you use our 2 ohm 50 watts on a tweeter, is more than ample.
Right.
So you can run the factory speaker wires to the tweeters, cross them over in the DSP.
Okay.
And they're not affected by what's going on with the RCAs because they're all independent of each other. It's fully 10 channels.
Full 10 channels.
If you are building a really big system, we have a T-harness that you can put in line. And then it'll give you the extra 4 RCAs out, and you go in the menu and you just tell it to limit them to the 5 volt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can have 10 5 volt RCA outputs. And the radios, it's trademark clip free. So it's designed to be played at full volume with no clipping.
So like a Kenwood almost.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
It's just designed. We know most of the guys on a bike, it's on or off.
Yes.
Right.
So we wanted to give them the best possible platform, like free, turn it all the way up. You don't have to worry about adding more distortion. Like it's
clip free up to all the volume.
Full volume. So it actually does like 5.3 volts or whatever before.
Oh, nice.
And then we are also the first ones that have a Bluetooth line driver, because a lot of phones, the newer phones, will not give you enough signal to be able to get 5 volts.
Oh, so in the volume settings, you can go.
You can boost the Bluetooth signal.
Oh, fantastic! So all channels are independently assignable. Are they groupable? Meaning, is there like a front and rear sub, or is it just like?
No, it's just 10 channels.
Okay,
but they're in pairs. So you're doing channels 1 and 2. You're going to adjust together. Channels 3 and 4, you're going to adjust together.
Right. So I mean, standard radio shit stuff.
Yeah, but they're not like. And then if you want fader.
Right.
It doesn't come with fader on. You can turn it on. Like some weird instances, like the guy's got a bike and he's got the touring pack and maybe he doesn't want to blow his wife off the back of the bike.
Right.
Whatever. You can turn fader on.
Right.
But default, they're all independent. So you can change everything independent of each other. So if you fade to the front, it doesn't affect the channels. Because the fader's off.
Okay.
Because they're independent.
Right.
It's not. There's no subwoofer.
So is it almost like multi-zone, where each pair of channels has a volume control built in the menu and then a master volume control?
No. There's 6 EQs.
Okay.
Wow.
So you have 5 independent EQs. So you have your DSP settings.
Right.
So you can do your crossover points, fully adjustable crossover points, high pass, low pass, band pass, whatever you need. Once you've set that, then you can go in and then I call it the setup EQ. So there's 5 of those EQs, 1 for each pair of channels.
Okay.
So you can adjust for any net.
Tweeter,
out of whack. The tweeter's too bright. Mid-range got a dip in it.
5-band parametric EQs.
No, 16-band full EQs.
Okay, 16-band full EQs.
Full
5
EQs.
16-band EQs.
Right?
Okay.
So you can adjust each pair of channels for that because it's a bike.
Yeah.
They're going to be
totally understand.
Yeah, everything's symmetrical.
Yeah.
So then you can adjust that. Then you have your daily EQ, which affects all the channels together. So that's the
global
one.
EQ.
Yeah, your presets. We have the 5 already done presets, and then you can set your own, and then that affects all the channels together.
So level would be done through the amplifiers.
Correct.
Which is no one cares. They just don't want them all the way up.
Right. We set that at, like I was explaining to Fernando.
Right.
We would set those up, especially because the way we want the radio to be done.
Mm-hmm.
We literally go, okay, what is the amplifier power versus what the speaker power is? Whatever the lowest number is, we literally set that with no speakers attached at the amplifier.
Yes, you do voltage.
We do voltage, yeah. So if it's 20, 150 watts, whatever it is, it's 20 volts at 4 ohms. We set the level at 20 volts with the radio all the way up in a test tone.
Right.
And then we know they can turn the radio all the way up. It's not going to clip, and we're not going to overdrive the speaker.
That's pretty cool.
It makes it very
that's
very
crazy.
foolproof.
There you go. And a radio, nonetheless. Wow. Might be neat in a car.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Little floating screen.
What? Oh, this next segment is brought to you by the five. Sorry, I was captivated by it. This next segment is brought to you by the fine folks of ArcAudio.com. Hey, have you heard of these cool shiny things on the wall back here? Ooh, these are Fernando's amplifiers. He's not going to share them with me. But those are the brand new coppers. If you're looking for class-leading performance, oh yeah, that's right. You're gonna you're pulling out both pockets on these bad boys, and you're going to have yourself an amazing AB class amplifier. If that's not your speed, you can also check out the Blackbird, my personal favorite amplifier. It's an 8 to 10 DSP amplifier with plenty of power. It's 1,000 watts. It's a nice compact size, and it's awesome. And they have a nice companion amp to go along with it, which is the Nighthawk. And it's almost June, which means I might have more information for you coming soon. If you'd like to know more, make sure you sign up for Arc Audio newsletters. Go over to arcaudio.com. That way you'll keep up with all the information coming out of Arc Audio. Boom.
You've done that a few times.
No.
Pretty good at it.
I do it different every time.
But
hi, John. Jeffrey Smith is saying, hi, Johnny.
What's up, Mr. Smith? It's been a while, my friend.
Which comes down to training and sales. Nobody listens. Okay, next question, Fernando. What is John's dream car, age 10, 20, and now? Let's be honest. I'm pretty sure John has owned his dream car many times.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not the guy.
I currently own my dream car.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, let's go back. What was your first dream car?
My first dream car was
Civic.
It was a Celica, actually.
Oh, you wanted a Celica?
Celica Supra, because there wasn't a Supra yet. Celica Supra.
Okay.
And then I got a Celica, but it wasn't a Celica Supra.
Okay.
I got a Celica GT.
Okay.
And then I wanted, and then for quite a while, I wanted an MR2.
Did you get an MR2?
No.
Yeah, thank God.
I didn't make that mistake, but I
wanted one. I understand. I can understand that. They were cool. Now, are we talking old school boxy MR2 before the convertible?
Yeah.
So like 80s?
First,
yeah, that was a cool car.
That was the, like, that was like a sports car version of the Celica. Right?
Yeah,
so that was cool.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I had a girl in high school that had one of those, and I thought, oh, this is the coolest thing I've ever been in.
And then I switched, and I wanted a Type R
Civic.
And
you had one of those?
Yes.
You have a couple of those.
I had a RSX Type S. I had one of the first ones, which was pretty cool. And then I talked my wife into letting me get an S2000.
Yes.
And then I had that for a
long time. Yeah, you even made Nathan buy an S2000.
Yes.
That's how S2000 you were.
We were S2000s. We had Honda rings and everything.
Oh yeah, you guys were full gay. Yeah, for sure.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then the S2000 was taken from me.
Yes.
So then
not by the bank.
No.
It's just some person not paying attention at 60 miles an hour. Yeah, it was wrecked.
Yeah.
Your phone
it got turned into an accordion, but it protected me.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
So then I bought the next, dream car,
which was
Porsche Turbo S convertible.
Yes, I remember that car.
I still have that car.
You still have that car?
I like that car.
Yeah.
It's 700 horsepower. It's awesome.
Did you drive it ever?
Never.
Really?
I don't even have a tag on it anymore.
Really? Just sits in the garage?
Yeah.
Is it have shit stacked on top of it?
It's got a lot of Phoenix Gold stuff in it that I never finished putting in.
Yeah, because you had all kinds, like you had
dash.
Cameras and mirrors, and you were doing all this.
It has those amps.
Yeah.
And it's still in it with Elite 12s.
Oh, nice.
And it's all plexiglass. And
I still have those two that you gave me.
Yeah.
They're still sitting there, and I'm like, wow. Now they're a collector's item.
I should take them out, and they've never been turned on.
Neither have mine.
Yeah.
They were still in the box. They're still in the boxes.
Mine are in the box, but they're on we never made the flush panels or anything. It's just I don't drive the car. I'm never home, and I'm not paying $5,000 a year for insurance.
So that's the last dream car, right? Did you have does she still have a Panamera or no?
No, she's got a VW electric VW now.
Oh, okay. But she had a Panamera for a minute.
Yeah, we were Porsche house.
For about a week.
No, it was a long time.
I know. I'm kidding.
Her Panamera is awesome. I miss that car.
Yes, a lot of switches. A lot of buttons. Yes. Is the Arc Audio Blackbird related to the Alpine Blackbird? No, that was GPS. No. It's related to the SR71, like the picture there denotes. I don't know what Alpine was thinking. Listen, it's definitely the biggest failure of the car audio. Remember the little Blackbird GPS thing that you dock into the Alpine radio?
Yeah, that was a white truck, and that gentleman was very nice. He was concerned for me because I couldn't move.
No.
So I have pictures of the wreck. You've seen them.
Yeah.
Because that guy, I forget what his name is, a friend of a friend of a friend, and somebody else recognized my car and took pictures of it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, it totaled all 3 cars. So there was a brand new Silverado or whatever truck in front of me.
Right.
The lady that hit me had it was a Highlander, big Toyota Highlander.
Yeah.
And then my car, it totaled his brand new truck from my car hitting his car. And the only reason I'm still alive is because he had a hitch, and his hitch split my bumper and luckily hit the engine block and bounced me backwards instead of under.
Oh.
Or if she would have turned her wheel left or right, she would have spit me into traffic, oncoming traffic. So it was just by the luck that she wasn't paying attention enough that she didn't move the wheel. It's just hit me literally at 60 something miles an hour and turned my car into an accordion. And my car hit his car so hard it totaled his car.
Wow.
Dude,
I remember all of it because I remember you coming.
I remember you.
I remember I don't have a phone right now. I'm like, why? Because when it hit me, my phone flew out of my car, and I was like, oh, so like I have a convertible now, so I keep mine in my door, which is where you kept yours. I'm going, well, hey, it's gonna happen. Yeah, hopefully it won't. But anyways,
my brother-in-law Troy.
Sent me pics. I thought you were dead. We thought he was dead too. Not gonna say. I mean, even when he was walking up to us, we thought he was still dead because he used to have a terrible limp.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't move my head for like a year. It was crazy.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I mean,
that's crazy.
Aside from being louder, does matching speaker RMS power make them sound better, or do they sound about the same with less than RMS power? Okay, so this is a topic we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
All right, listen. My mind is RMS is the easiest way to say it is bullshit. It's cool packaging. It's when I say bullshit, I mean if you know what you're doing, it's ridiculous. But as a sales guy, it's like, hey, this number matches this number. We put the two together. Chances are good we're in the same thing. But we also know that. This speaker says it handles 90 watts. It probably handles more than 90 watts. And we know that this amplifier is putting out 45 watts, or even if it's putting out 180 watts. They're both going to power the speaker.
Yes.
And will the 180 watts sound louder than the 90 watts?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, okay, what say you?
Well, it's also, it's a situational thing.
Right.
So, like I said, like how we set up the bikes, we know that they're going to have it at full volume all the time. So we try to match those up just to keep failures from happening. That way they can feel free, basically, to do that.
Balls to the wall all day long.
Turn it to 11. Right?
Yeah, turn it to 11.
So there's instances, and I'm really going to date myself, but like you could go to something like Richard Clark, and he had those giant Alpine amplifiers back in the day in his Grand National. And the speakers only handled like 50 watts.
Right.
But he had tons of headroom. He never had to worry about overdriving the amplifier. He was only limited by the speaker. So there's that. But you have to have somebody that has control of the volume and understands what distortion is to be able to get away with that.
Right.
So it's nice to have that dynamic range and have more power than the speaker can handle.
Right.
But you have to have somebody that has control,
Well, and I think that kind of goes back to the myth of the blown subwoofer, where it's like, if I put 500 watts on a 1,000-watt subwoofer, I'm going to blow it, and it's like, no, you're not.
No.
But if you turn up the amplifier to the point of it's just fire-breathing dragon, you're going to blow anything you put on it, whether it's 1,000-watt or 500.
There's a curve to that, right? But I've always wanted to do a training on this.
Try to blow a 500 watt.
No, to show what's happening. So, to try to give you a visual. So if you look at a scope when something's clipping, that's exactly what the speaker is doing.
Right.
So when the speaker is in the top of the clipping path, it's literally going out and it's staying there for that duration of the clip.
Right.
And then it's going down and it's staying down for the duration of the clip. Well, when the speaker's not moving, that voice coil is a space heater.
Yes.
So, and it's not moving any air because it's stuck there. So when you're playing music, it's pulsing it and it's moving. So you're cooling it, and it's a pause, and it's a power and a pause. So you're heating it up, but not like you're trying to, cook something on a stove.
Right.
So that's the way it's going. It's going up and it's going down like this. So that is why you could blow a speaker with less power than it technically could handle, because it's meant that RMS power is made with an audio signal, not a clipped signal. So the clipping, instead of it doing a wave, it's doing these bridges.
I'm on, I'm down. I'm on, I'm up.
Right.
I'm down.
And when it's stuck there, it's just generating heat, and it can't dissipate it because it's not moving. So that's why it's obviously harder, but depending on what the threshold is, 1,000-watt speaker, maybe you could do it with 600 or 700 watts, because you're putting it
square
in
waving the hell out of it.
Yeah, killing it.
Yeah.
And if it's depending on the size of an enclosure, if it was an enclosure,
we're not going. Let's not go wide.
Yeah,
slow back. Reel it in.
Let's just say you're just going by thermal.
You're gonna kill the thermal rating on the speaker. Yeah. So, okay, Fernando. Installed new Kentwood head unit and removed LC2I. Same amp and sub. Sub output is down drastically. Head unit level goes up to 0 to 9. Does this sound correct? Yes. So an LC2I has a line driver, and depending on how much voltage you had coming in and where you set that, you now need to readjust your gains, because your head unit is at max going to put out, if it's good Kenwood, 5 volts. If it's not, 2 volts. So, you have to know how much voltage was coming out of your LC2I. And then you're going to have to turn up the sensitivity. So basically, you have to reset the system. It's not going to work the same. And that will get you back. Now,
signal level is the same.
Yeah, signal level is the same. Now, on the head unit, it does have 0 to 9 dBs of boost. And that is basically doing the same thing as adjusting that signal level output. So you can use that to turn it up and hopefully get it back to the same the same output level you had before, or you could go back to the gain and turn the gain up. Depends on how you want to play it, but that's really that. Oh yeah, good call, Fang. This segment is brought to you by the fine folks at Focal.com. That's right. If you're looking for world-class French-made speakers that are
Pinkies out.
Pinkies out. Yeah, baby. Check them out. Focal-America.com. Fernando, what is your favorite speaker?
The K2.
Boom. Focal. Enough said. Hit it. I just bought my daughter her first car, a 2015 Buick Encore. You don't love her? I mean,
wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Not really. I need help with a radio replacement kit, non-Bose. So,
well, hopefully the seats are more comfortable in a Buick than they are in a normal GM car.
Oh, it's a Buick, bro. So pull that down. So when looking for dash kits, this is the page. This is where we start. pack-auto.com, maestro-Aladdin, all these. Take a screenshot right now and start going through these. If the kit exists, it's going to be in one of the top 3. If the kit does not exist, you're out of luck.
You don't have the Scotia on there.
Scotia doesn't make kits anymore.
They stopped making kits?
Yeah, they make cell phone mounts. Dude, they're funny. I mean, you've been to SEMA. You walked around to their booth and just looked at it?
No, I'm working at SEMA. So
so are we. But, I mean, every now and then, we get there early.
I usually get to work. I walk the last day if I'm lucky.
Yeah, so we get there early, and we'll walk around before. Mm-hmm. And then...
well, I'm really glad I didn't take their job offer they gave me.
Yeah. Dude, they make cell phone mounts. That's really it. It sucks, too, because they made really, really nice kits. Mm-hmm. But... As we all know, there was other things they sucked at. So, like bookkeeping. Some cheap speakers are rated for twice the power they actually can handle, like Sparkomatics in the 80s and 90s. We were actually talking about it today, and you were bringing up so I was unaware of this, but what were we talking about?
We were talking about the way they're rating speakers on the boxes now for the marketing. So like Kenwood and some of the, I don't want to call out.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have to call it names, just in general. You just called out Kenwood.
I didn't mean to, and I didn't mean Kenwood.
I was gonna say you didn't mean Kenwood. You made the slip.
Yeah.
Anyways,
some of these other companies, and unfortunately, we have to follow the trend because otherwise we're at a disadvantage. But I went a little different in my way of doing it. But what they're doing is they're putting the total, like, so if it's a box of speakers and there's 2 speakers in the box, and just for argument's sake, let's say each speaker is 100 watts RMS, that'll say really big on the box 200 watts RMS. They add the
two
system together.
Yeah.
And then whatever the max power is, it's 3 times RMS is max power. So then it would be 600 watts RMS, or 600 watts max. So it would be 200 watts RMS, 600 watts max.
That's ridiculous.
I think it's ridiculous, but it's an unfortunate thing that we have to follow the trend because then we're at a disadvantage. But what I did that was different is I at least put that it's total system power. So it says whatever the wattage is, total system power. So a normal human being could discern that.
Yeah, that's that one speaker or both speakers?
It's both speakers. So when you go on the back and it has the specs, it shows the individual speakers.
Oh, there you go. Makes sense.
But for marketing purposes, because everybody likes the big number, unfortunately, that's
I like a just black box with a model number on top.
Yeah,
that's my.
Our packaging's pretty simple. It's single color with line art on it.
I have a couple of it somewhere around here.
Yeah.
I learned at Installers Institute to
have more RMS power with no gain on amp with low signal to noise ratio.
Yeah.
The lower you can keep the gain on the amplifier is always better. So that's why like our radio does 5 volt RMS. We have pieces that do 10 volts RMS. So you basically can have the gain off. It's better for signal and noise ratio.
I mean, I try to, especially when I'm doing DSP, I let the DSP handle everything.
Right. And most DSPs have a line driver, so you're good.
Yeah. So if I have to go to a sub amp,
I'd rather have the gains
down
off.
I just far down as possible. I do all that through the DSP. I just down, crossover, whatever, turn it off, throw it in, and I'm doing everything through the DSP. So
I agree. You are correct, Basehead PDX.
Yes. Throw it up, Fernando. Hey guys, question on speakers. Say on a 6.5, what make Focal a better speaker than a kicker? Okay, so I want to generalize this question. I don't necessarily want to pick the 2 brands up against one another because they both pay us. Full disclosure. But let's narrow it down so it's kind of more brand obnoxious. Obnoxious?
Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah, brand obnoxious. We were talking. This is another topic we were talking about earlier.
It's funny how many topics.
This literally, he was here all day, so we talked about a bunch of stuff. So, what makes a Diamond different than a Cerwin Vega?
Well, like because I'm designing them both, there's going to be some things that are similar.
Of course.
But a lot of times it boils down to the signature sound of that speaker itself, which we pay a lot of attention to because we have lineage that we want to continue, and also the materials. Like a simple thing is like we have horn loaded drivers in both lines because we were talking about motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
The Diamond drivers, the horn's basically the same. The diaphragm is different on the horn, and the motor structure is different. So the Diamonds are neodymium. They're lighter. They cost, neodymium is stronger.
Yeah, it costs way more.
It costs a lot more money. The Cerwin Vega has a strontium.
Mm-hmm.
A strontium ferrite
standard
magnet,
heavy magnet.
It's using a titanium diaphragm, or using it's a hybrid diaphragm in the Diamond.
Okay.
So if you kind of eyeballed them from the front, other than the Cerwin having
bigger magnet on the
red,
back. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You'd be like, oh, those are exactly the same. Well, they're not. The material, they have similarities, but they're not the same. And that's the sort of the problem for a consumer, is they're looking aesthetically at something and they're like, oh, it's just a 6.5 inch speaker. Why is this one better? Well, what spider did they use? What voice coil did they use? What materials are used in the cone? What other coatings are on it? Is it waterproof? Is it
where's it going?
Yeah, it's so many different variables there. that it's really hard to say. You have to go by what your listening preference is.
It's so. Would you say that when designing a speaker, you kind of pave a roadmap for that speaker? Like this is what we're trying. This is the customer we're trying to appeal to. Let's say the Diamond using the hybrid tweeter, and this is a totally different customer that we're trying to appeal to with the Cerwin Vega.
Yes.
And that mindset kind of follows you through the whole line.
Sure, because the Cerwin Vega guy, that driver. Most likely, those drivers aren't going to end up in a bike. It's too big.
Right.
It looks like it would fit, but it's not. Right? But it's similar, right?
Yeah.
It's a pro audio driver.
Correct. Yeah.
So, and it's a different price point.
Right.
Again, this guy just wants it louder, right?
Right.
So the Vega one is a little bassier, and the horn's a lot louder, and it's a different sound. It's that more Vega pro audio, like concert style.
Yeah,
sound.
yeah. Like if the guy's
the Diamond
50,
one is more refined. The horn doesn't need as much adjustment,
right?
For being a horn. Like you could actually we get compliments at the shows. They're like, "Man, that's the best sounding bike that we've heard." And we're like, "Yeah, we're not trying to be the loudest bike here. We want to be the best sounding one here. It's different.
It's a novel idea.
Yeah,
it's so novel.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's loud.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, it's loud.
We know that.
But it's a different aspect. Like when we sell, and we're kind of staying on the motorcycles, but it all relates.
It's okay.
We sell when we do Sturges, we literally have 4 setups that we show. And people always come in and they're like, "What's the loudest, or what's the most expensive one you have?" They don't understand.
Right.
Like, well, what do you like to listen to? Because the one that's perfect for you might not be the most expensive one. A lot of times it's the one right below it, because we have the most expensive one's all Neo, and it's crazy loud.
Right.
But the one that has the coax subs has more bass. So if they want a little more bassy response, then that's the better system for them.
Right.
So we have to qualify them. Like, what are you listening to? What is your end goal? Do you want to be loud for you? You want everybody else to be loud? Are you going to play it in the parking lot, or are you going to ride it? Like, so we do the same thing for car.
Oh, 100%.
You have to establish what is the end goal for the person, and just like you said, design the speakers.
Yeah, and I think in car you have to add in location, and some of the car, like the 2 brands you talked about, size, like
sure.
Kickers, speakers are always narrow because they want to go in. One of their criteria is depth. So every speaker is going to be inside of this depth box, whereas Focal doesn't think that way. So those things are always on the forefront of who's doing what. Like I had the opportunity to talk to Steve Irby one time, and I go, "What do you like? What do you like at designing?" He says, "Cheap speakers." Affordable speakers. He didn't say cheap. So he goes, "Why?" He goes, "Because they're the hardest speakers to design. Because you want them to be here, but the budget has to be here, and so you're spending so much time refining that design to get it to be the best that it can be at whatever price point is the ceiling." So that also comes into play when designing a speaker, because you can come out with a $500 speaker. But if you need a $200 speaker, there's a big difference.
We have the Italias; they're $1,500 set. They're crazy.
All right, there we go.
Really nice.
Yeah,
but that's not for everybody.
I mean, it's for me.
Yeah,
it's totally for me. John, if you're ever around, I'd be honored to give you a demo and get your impression and advice on my system. So
sure. No problem.
He's never around.
But I'm never around.
Yeah, that's why
he's literally just spent 3 weeks in the Orient, and you'll be leaving in another couple days?
June. We were gonna go on the 17th, but we pushed it. So pushed it to June.
It's so crazy. 30%.
Yeah. A little while.
So what are you saying? One's the Mustang and the other is a Porsche. I mean, I have a Mustang. I like my Mustang. It wasn't my dream.
And you
car.
have a Porsche. So.
He has a Porsche. I don't have a dream car. That's the difference. What I'm saying, he's a dream car guy. That's why I knew he's owned his dream car because he's a car guy. I'm the opposite of that. I wanted a convertible. I could have cared less.
Well, I wanted a convertible too. That's why I had an S2000. Now I have.
But you wanted a 911 convertible. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't kick a 911 convertible out of bed, but I'm also not going to care enough to. I mean, it's like it's cool. It's not that cool, So I mean,
I do miss my S2000.
Yes, of course you do.
Are you going to buy a new one? No.
My wife was going to buy me one for my 50th. And I'm like, don't.
Yeah, because that's a rep. That's a rebel.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then you can't leave it alone.
No, I mean, I had that car. Like that car was an extension of me. That's why it was so cool.
Right.
Because we'd take people out for lunch, and somebody would be in town, and they're like, "You gonna take them for a ride?" And then I could drift that thing sideways into the parking lot, like we need to go this way, but the road goes this way, and I got the car going this way, and then you just tap the brake, and then all of a sudden you're going that way. And they're shitting their pants, so it's great.
Yeah.
Always fun. Always fun. It's a shame. It's amazing. It's crazy how these things happen. Okay. You got one more in there that we can just hit real quick? Or is that it?
That's it.
All right, that's it. Awesome. So I'd like to thank John for spending the day with us today, allowing us to work with some of the new products from Sur and Vega. I'd also like to thank the sponsors of the show. Audio Control, Arc Audio, Focal, Moscone, and Gladen. Without them, we wouldn't have a show. And without you, the people watching right now, we definitely wouldn't have a show. So thank you so much for giving us an hour of your time. We hope you enjoyed what John added to the show. We'll get him on whenever we can. He literally lives within walking distance of me, and we probably see each other more outside of the state of Florida than I think we do
at events.
Yeah, I mean, dude, literally, we're on the same road. It's almost funny. I walk past his house, the entrance to your subdivision, all the time. Like I've jogged past. It's literally on my route.
I'll just give you a key card.
No, I'm good. I don't know. So, but he's always gone, and we're always busy. So it's a funny thing. But no, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. Thanks for bringing Fernando food.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you.
He's also a hobbyist chef, which is sick because he's really good at it.
Like super.
Yeah,
dude,
like
it's just insane,
dude, it was so funny because he came in and I said, "Hey, John left some food in the refrigerator for you." He goes, "Oh, okay." And so we're leaving. I go, "Dude, grab John's food." And he goes, "I go, no, go grab. You have a bag of tamales. Yeah. Take the food with you." So what does he do? Comes in today. Oh, that was so good. Yeah. And he almost didn't take it. I was like, "You doofus."
No, because I want to eat it here. Because sometimes I don't bring food, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna eat it here.
You got to take it home.
Yeah,
and sit there on the couch and get all crazy.
Well, like I said, we'll do the show from the house one day, and then we'll do dinner or something after.
Yeah,
because I got not as nice as yours, but I got a studio at the house too.
I mean, geez,
at that point, you guys do the show. I would be eating.
I only have the
small one. It's all right. I mean, it's okay. It's all right. But anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. We hope you have a fantastic week. Don't worry, we'll be back all week long. You can find us on Instagram. News is Friday and Saturday, of course, at 5 o'clock. We'll be back asking your questions. He was our guest this week. We weren't expecting to have one. We had one. Bonus. Who doesn't like a bonus? Fernando, anything?
That's it, guys. So.
All right. You guys have a wonderful night.
You gotta jump in the shot, Fernando. You haven't been in the shot at all.
I'm here.
There he is. Okay.
Still here. Same height.
Hi. Still, you see.
You need to shave. Though,
I know.
I mean, you look like a terrorist.
I'm usually the terrorist.
Yeah, I know. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you later next time.
Bye, guys.
Fade to black.